Hello guys, welcome back. So now we are in basic setting. So which one we have discussed in the previous session? We discussed on field status variant. Okay. So there are a few more things which I have to explain here in field status variant. Now, so what is the use of field status variant? That I said, like when we are going to post a transaction, multiple fields are going to appear. While transaction posting, various fields are going to appear. So so whatever these fields are there, guys. Okay. So as I said, like when you are at the time of transaction posting, whichever these fields are going to appear, those fields are going to be controlled by field status variant. When you post a transaction, into SAP, right? So it's pretty simple, guys. What is the use of ERP that we all know? Maintaining our day-to-day activities, right? As an individual, you can maintain diary, you can maintain your day-to-day activities, transactions, whatever you say in the Excel sheet also, if you are going to maintain digitally. But for organizations, huge number of transactions are there. That is not possible to maintain in Excel sheet. That is why ERP came into market, in the sense this software came into market. That we know very well. In previous session, I have already explained these things. Now, so it's time to, so SAP means they're going to enter multiple transactions on regular basis. So when they enter the transactions, multiple fields will be there. Okay, this transactions belongs to which date, right? So what is the transaction date? I mean to say posting date. Okay, this transactions means they are going to specify certain narrations. There will be a text field for that, and various other details also will be there, which you guys are going to see later. Okay, so whatever those fields are there, these multiple fields will appear. Let's suppose there are total 100 fields. But out of 100 fields, how many fields are going to be used, guys? Hardly 20% of the fields are going to be filled up at the time of transaction posting. Apart from this, whatever 80% fields are there, every fields are having some different usage and all. But organizations, like if you talk about the organizations, multiple different type of industries are there, right? So different fields are having different significance. Okay. So whatever the fields are going to be used, client says that, okay, let's suppose if a particular field is there, client says that I don't need this field. Client is saying that I don't want this field. Okay, so client is saying that I kindly remove it. This fields, client is saying that if let's suppose there is no use of these fields, then why it is appearing? Kindly remove. So what to do in this case? Right? How these fields are going to be removed? So for that we are having those controls are there in field status variant. Field status, with the help of field status variant, what is happening, guys? The fields which is appearing at the time of transaction posting, those fields are going to be controlled. Okay, if you want to remove a particular field, that can be removed easily. If let's suppose client says that kindly make it as a required entry. Required entry means what will happen? It means client is saying that this field you have to remove, but this field, whatever this field, like this field is appearing, in this field you do something so that user must have to give certain input here in this field. Let's suppose this field name is text field. What is the use of text field? When you are going to post a transactions, I have quoted an example in the previous session, rent related transactions. So this rent belongs to which office? Tata Motor is having multiple offices, right? Tata Motor is having, like, let's suppose, and let's suppose there are certain offices here in India. There are certain offices in abroad, right? They're having market in USA. They're having market in UK. right? So it means like, let's suppose certain offices are going to be maintained. They'll be having a sales team which is sitting in UK. There is a sales team which is sitting in USA also. So they are also having certain. So they have taken this offices on leads from a particular, let's suppose, vendor, isn't it? Now, so every month the payments are going to be made, right? But before making payment, first of all, we receive invoices from those vendors, right? So that is going to be posted into SAP. Now, while recording those transactions, while posting those transactions, let's suppose this rent belongs to UK office or USA office or Indian. In India, also multiple cities are there from those offices. So you have to specify a narration here, right? So this field, like client says that user must have to specify the narration in the sense details that this rent belongs to this office or that office. So three options are there. We are having three options. Three options means the fields, either it could be optional, it could be required, or it could be suppressed. Okay, so these are the three options we are having. Okay, so where is these options, guys? These options you guys will be having where? Under field status variant. Okay, now okay, so now here field status variant. Okay, somebody is saying that voice is not audible. So guys, whenever voice is not audible, you just exit and rejoin. Okay, just give me a second. So here field status variant is having this control. So whatever fields are there, that either you can make it optional, you can make it required, or you can make it suppressed. Somebody is saying that now these all fields are optional. By default, it will be optional. If required, you can make it like, let's suppose if the client says remove certain field, so you can click on suppress. You'll be having a radio button, guys, right? That you have to select. Now, if you have to make it required, in the sense like this input must be given, you can select this one, right? Now, let's suppose if certain, if the field is like sometime, if they wish, they can give certain input. If they don't wish, it's okay, that is acceptable. So in that case, we can make it optional. Optional means whether they give any input or not, that doesn't matter. Still, system will allow them to proceed further. But when they made it required, then at the time of transaction posting, user must have to enter the details here. That is what the logic. Okay. Now, so these things already I have explained previously also in the previous session, but I'll tell you guys, there was one more thing. When you have defined field status variant, then we are having multiple field status group. Within the field status variant, we are having multiple field status group. So what is the use of this field status group? So I'll tell you guys, actually, it is the field status group which controls the fields. Now you say, so you're saying like field status variant is controlling the fields. Now again you're saying that field status groups are controlling the fields. Okay, don't be confused. Now this field status groups are there, that comes under field status variant. right? Field status variant, field status group that comes under field status variant, right? So generally what happens, so if you have to make, like, I'll just open this. Let me open this SAP. Now here, if you have a look, field status variant, right? What is my field status variant, guys? It is TM22. Okay. So now, just double click here. Within this field status variant, we are having multiple field status group. So what I said, guys, generally these all field status groups comes under where? Comes under a particular variant. Let's suppose a particular country is there. Within the country, we are having multiple states, right? It's just like that. So here, now, so look at here. Now, multiple fields, like let's suppose I made these all fields are optional. These all fields are suppressed. Here, different control is there, right? If you go to Z0, so this is the condition of Z001. If you go to Z003, now here you will be having, like, let's suppose I'm going to make a different setting here. In Z003, different settings are there. So the question is, why there is a need of multiple field status group? That you have to understand. Why there is a need of multiple field status group? So when somebody is going to ask such kind of things and all, you must have to specify a perfect logic. That why there is a use of. I'll tell you guys, there are lots of people, they know how to set a field status variant, right? How to assign this field status variant. Within a field status variant, we are having multiple field status group. When somebody says that why there is a need of multiple field status group, can't we manage with a single field status group? Isn't it? So this one, like that kind of questions you cannot answer just by giving the definition of this like field status variant or group, right? For that you need to have a perfect understanding, and then you are going to provide a logical answer which is going to satisfy the interviewer, right? So here there is a logic behind that. What is the logic? I'll tell you. Now let's suppose you remove these things first. Now I'm having, we are going to post a transaction. So when you post a transactions, what is happening, guys? Transactions are going to be posted. Let's suppose rent related transactions, right? Okay. Let's suppose there is a transactions of like fuel expense. Okay. Audit fee and salaries and multiple other transactions are taking place. Okay. So what happened now? So every month rent related transactions are going to be posted and multiple transactions are getting posted, guys. If somebody want to see that how much total rent we have paid in this financial year, how they are going to see these things? So simple, we have to set up a ZL account that is for rent. So they will check the balance of rent GL, okay, and for fuel expenses a separate GL, for audit fee separate GL, right? We all know GL is nothing but a kind of, you can say it's a kind of separate book, you can say, where like in rent GL, if you're going to see there is this rent GL, only rent related transactions will be there. Fuel expenses, only this, all fuel expenses related transactions are there. In audit fee, all this audit fee related transactions will be there. So if you see the GL balances, you will come to know, if you see the GL, you will come to know that multiple transactions are there. In this financial year, these many transactions are posted. Okay. So now here, the transactions are going to be posted against a particular GL account. So what will happen, guys? This GL, first of all, we have to set up into SAP. How to set up that, I'll show you. Now, so when we have to post a transactions for rent, this is going to be posted against rent GL. For fuel expenses, for that is going to be posted against that GL. Okay, general ledger, right? Now, so what happened? Generally, now there is a requirement. I'll tell you. When we are going to post a transaction, just use F-02. Okay. Initially, we are going to use, let's suppose, while transaction posting, we are going to use this transaction code right now. Even other transaction codes are also there that we'll see. But let's suppose if you have to post a transactions, okay. So here we are going to fill certain details. Let's suppose document date. Here the company code. Okay. So right now your company code is TM22, but against TM22, all the settings, all the configurations are not done yet. So I'll just do one thing, guys. I'll use a different company code which is already having certain configurations. Okay. Now these are the required details I have given. Okay. Here this is posting key. What is the use of posting key? That also I explained. Don't worry. Now here we are going to give the GL account number. Let's suppose this is the GL account number. This is rent GL number. So here I have given this rent GL number, and if you press enter, then what will happen, guys? Somebody is saying document number 19. This is an error, guys. There is a logic behind this error that also I'll explain. Don't worry, but right now it is not possible to explain the logic because this topic I have not explained yet. Okay, so let me rectify this. Okay, now press enter. Once again, I'll use F-02, guys. Okay, I've given the red GL here and press enter. So when I'm going to press the enter, a different next screen is going to appear. Look at here, next screen is going to appear. Okay, so in this next screen, what is happening, guys? Look at here, this next screen, certain fields are appearing: amount, business place, value date, assignment, text, right? So these fields are appearing based on what? Based on the field status group. Based on the field status group. Okay. Now, so look at here, we are having a GL account 4000. This is your rent account. This is your rent account. Okay. Now, so for rent account, these are the fields which is appearing. So when you post a transactions related to rent account, these fields are appearing, right? Now let's suppose we have a different. So when you are going to post a transactions against rent account, so it is required a different setting. For rent account, you have to say like the text field must be a required entry. Okay. So for rent account, this field must be a required entry. right? Now what will happen? But when we post a transactions for audit fee, let's suppose, so for audit fee, the same text field, client says here it should be optional entry, optional entry, okay? Sorry, fuel expense, let's suppose it is optional, okay? For audit fee, let's suppose client says that no, this text field I don't need, so make it surprise. For three different GL, we are going to post different transactions, but this text field for rent it must be required. For fuel expenses it must be optional. For audit fee it must be suppressed. So first of all, you try to understand here. You try to let me close this screen. You try to understand here. See, look at here how this like GL account, right? When I have entered the GL account and then I press the enter button, right? Then this screen is appearing, isn't it? Now, so when we set up this GL account, guys, in this GL account, when we set up the GL account, then what happened, guys? In this GL account, at the time of setting up the GL account, we are going to specify field status group. I've given G001. Okay. So what happened, guys, when it's a bit confusing. Okay. But don't worry, you'll be having a perfect understanding once I post a transaction. I'll show this practically. Okay. I'll show this practically, but still I have to explain so that second time it is going to be revised and then you guys will be able to visualize whatever I'm saying right now. Okay. So this rent GL, when you create a rent GL, how to create that I'll show you. So when you create a rent GL, at the time of creation, we are going to give a field status group. Okay. So now what field status group I have given? I have given a field status group G001. So in G001, what is happening, guys? I'm going to make a setting here. For G001, I said required. Okay. So in this field status group, I'm going to text field, I'm going to make it as a required entry. Okay. What is the use of radio button, guys? What is the difference between radio button and check boxes? Pretty simple. You all know check boxes means if you're having three check boxes, all three check boxes, you can apply a check mark. If you're having three radio button, you can select only one, right? Either this one, or this one, right? Okay. Now you just save it. So for G001, now here I made it text field as a required entry. Okay, and this is what is required. For rent transactions, the text field must be a required entry. At the same time, if you post a transaction for fuel expenses, then what happened? Here, the fuel expense GL will appear. So based on that GL, so if fuel expense GL is there, then what is happening, guys? In fuel expense GL, I'm going to assign a different field status group, let's suppose G003. And here, I made it as an optional entry. This is already optional, it's okay. So for fuel expenses, I have given G003. G003. Here it is optional. For audit fee, let's suppose for audit fee, so a different GL will be there for audit fee, right? And at the time of creation of audit fee GL, we are going to assign a different field status group that is called G00, whatever is here, like let's suppose G004 is there or 5 is there. And even new field status group can be created. So let's suppose we are going to make it suppress. And that is going to be assigned. So what happened? So here G004 we are going to give. So what happened? See, three different GLs are there. For different GL, we are having different requirement. For certain GL, I say text field required. For certain GL, it is optional. For certain GL, it is suppressed. In that case, what is happening, guys? So different field status groups are having is there, which is having these different settings, right? And these field status groups are going to be assigned to the GL account. Okay, these field status groups are going to be assigned to the GL account. So let's suppose this is rent GL is the GL code is 4000. This fuel expense is 4001. This audit fee GL is code is 4002. So now what will happen, guys? Here, when you enter GL account 4000, then here what is happening? Text field is going to be a required entry. Why? Because against 4000 GL, what field status group we have given? G001. And in G001, we have already made this text field as a required entry. But when you post a transaction against fuel expense GL, against fuel expense GL, we have given which one? G003. And here we have made this text field as an optional entry. So text field is going to be optional here. And when you post a transaction against 4002, in that we have given a field status group. For that GL, we have assigned a field status group G004, right? And in that, we have made this text field as a suppressed. So this text field itself will not appear. This field itself is going to disappear. Okay. As I said, I'll show this practically also, guys. But right now, we don't have any GL account in the sense we have not created for this company code. Okay. So now we'll create certain GL account and then we'll see. But before creation of GL account, there are various settings which we have to do. So it is going to take some time. So that is why we are having multiple field status group. Why? Because for different GL, different fields, client will say, when we post a transaction for salary, then these are the settings I required. In the sense, they will say here, okay, this field must be optional, this field required, this field suppressed, right? For different GL, different settings are required, isn't it? So that is why, is it possible to manage all the controls with a single field status group, guys? It is impossible. Okay, I'll just make it optional here. It is impossible. It is impossible to manage with a single field status group, because when we post a transaction against different GL, client would like to have a different field control. So what is happening, guys? That is why we are having various field status group, and even if required, we can create even another field status groups also, and unlimited field status groups can be created, guys, based on the requirements. So anyway, whatever is already delivered by SAP, it's more than enough, but still if it is required, we can create another field status groups also. Okay, so this is what the logic. If somebody says like, why do we need multiple field status groups, guys? Can't we manage with a single field status group, right? So with a single field status group, it is not possible. The reason behind is, let's suppose if we have two different GL and there is a conflict. Here, rent GL says field status text field required, fuel expenses GL text field must be optional. So what is happening, guys? If you have a single field status group, so that is assigned G001, right? So you can select either required or optional. Both cannot be. So if we have a single field status group that is assigned against this rent GL, so text field, and we have made text field as a required entry in this field status group. So what will happen? For this GL, a different requirement is there. So if the same field status group is going to be assigned for this fuel expense GL also, in that case, G001 we have already made it required. For this one also, the same setting is going to be copied, in the sense required entry only. But client is saying no, for fuel expense, it must be optional. So again, we must be having a different field status group. Let's suppose 0003 or 2, right? So in that we are going to make a different setting, and that is going to be assigned to this GL. Okay. For some people might be able to assume whatever I'm saying. For some people not be able to assume exactly whatever I'm saying. But as I said, like, don't worry. Again, practically once we create the GL account and at the time of transaction posting, I'll show this practically so that you guys will be having perfect understanding. But still, so this is what the logic to have a multiple field status group. Okay. So now what we have done, so we have created field status variant. What is the use of field status variant, guys? It controls the fields which appears during transaction posting. Fields are going to be controlled by field status groups. But these all field status groups are the part of a field status variant only, right? It comes under a particular field status variant, right? See, I'll tell you why field status variant is there. Look at here. So multiple field status groups are there because this is having different control, in the sense like different fields can be controlled by different field status group, right? So if we are going to assign, the question is like, why? What is the need of field status variant, right? So I'll tell you guys, all these field status groups are combined together and comes under this field status variant, right? If field status variant, this code is not there, then what will happen? Let's suppose we are having total 40 field status group. So these all 40 times you have to assign this field status group to the company code. Now what we have done, we have combined all this field status group, right? We have combined all this field status group, and this comes under this code which is called field status variant. So simply we are going to assign this field status variant to our company code. Single assignment. If you assigned under this, we are having all the field status group. So indirectly all the field status groups also assigned to the company code, right? Okay. So under field status group variant, we are having all the field status group. Okay. So this is why you say either field status group control the fields or field status variant control the fields. Both are same, right? Okay. So now, so this is the use of field status variant. Okay. Now what next, guys? The next one is number range. Now, what is the use of number range, guys? That I'll explain. Now here, when we are going to post a transaction, okay? When you post a transaction, let's suppose a rent related transactions. I'll just do one thing, just delete these things. So when you post a transaction, let's suppose rent related transactions or fee related transactions, fuel expense related transactions. So for rent also, multiple transactions are getting posted, right? Multiple transactions are going to be posted. When you post these transactions, right? So what is happening, guys? When you post the transactions, for every transaction, what is happening, guys? A transaction number will be generated. For every transaction, when you post a transaction, for every transaction, a transaction number is going to be generated. Okay. Now, how these numbers are going to be generated? Okay. For every transaction, a transaction number will be generated. So what will happen? And that too, for rent, let's suppose for Delhi office, like New Delhi office, we have like posted a transaction. For that, a transaction got generated. This is the transaction number. Okay. Let's suppose for Mumbai office, again, we have posted the transactions. For that, a different transaction got generated. For Bangalore office, we are having again different transaction number, right? So different numbers are getting generated. Okay. Now the question is where these numbers are coming from. So for that, we have to define a number range. We have to define a number range. Okay, we have to define a number range. Here you can say we have to define a number range. Now, so this number range is, let's suppose I have given a range 1000 to 1999. Okay, so it means these all transactions are getting generated from this range only. From this number range only, these transactions numbers are getting generated. Okay. Okay. Whatever transactions are getting posted, every transactions guide in SAP language, right? Whatever transactions are getting posted, every transactions are called document. Okay, in SAP language it says that if you have to post a transaction, it means you have to post a document. Okay, every transactions are called as a document. So here what is happening, the way we have seen like subsidiary is called company code here in SAP, isn't it? Company code means subsidiaries of a particular organization. Transactions, transaction is called document. So let's suppose now I'll say that we have to post a document related to rent. We have to post a document related to audit fee. You have to post a document related to salaries, right? Now, so this document is nothing but transactions. So when you post a transaction, system is going to generate a transaction number. When you post the same transaction is called document. So when you post a document, system is going to generate a document number, right? So transaction number or document number both are same. There is no differences at all, right? No. So where these document numbers are coming from? So first of all, we have to give a range. Okay, we are going to give a range here. Okay, somewhere we are going to give, where we are going to give that I'll let you know. So we are going to give a range. From that range only what is happening guys, this document are getting generated. Now the question is that this range is pretty small, 1000 to 1999. So what will happen if this is going to be consumed? So I'll tell you guys, in real time it won't be like that. In real time it will be 10-digit length. In real time it will be 10-digit length. Okay, so this is not possible to consume, and multiple ranges, multiple number ranges are going to be defined. Okay, so this is not possible because it is a huge range. Even for a big organization also it is not possible to consume. Okay, and this document numbers are going to be every year it is going to be defined. Okay, yearly it is going to be, every year we have to set up this number ranges. Okay, there is a logic behind these all things that we have to see, don't worry. So now what is the use of number range guys? So when we post a transaction, so I have given a small number range. Why? Because it will be quite simple to understand the logic, right? As a beginner, as a freshers, as a new, like, because you guys are pretty new for this SAP, right? So that is why small things I'm taking so that you guys will be, we have to understand the logic, right? Once you understood the logic, you can make any sort of experiment, right? That is why, that is the reason, because logic itself people are not able to understand. That is why even though they have completed all the training, they are unable to understand the interview questions, right? Now, So that is why I have given a small number range. It's okay. But in real time, what is happening? Small range is not going to be given. A very big range will be there, which is not possible to consume. Okay. Now, and for you people also, this range itself is not possible to consume. The reason behind is multiple. It is how many transactions you guys are going to post. Okay. Now, so let's suppose from this range, what is happening when you post a transactions? Our transaction numbers are getting generated. I mean to say, when you post a document number is going to be generated. Those documents numbers are getting generated from where? From the range which we have defined. Where to define the range, guys? Now, go to a transaction code FBN1. It is a very famous T code, guys. Very famous T code. Multiple times you have to come here, and easily you guys will be able to remember these T codes. Whatever initial T codes I am saying, this transaction code easily you guys will be able to remember. Okay. Now, FBN1. Okay. So here, first of all, give your company code. So your company code is TM22. And then click on here, middle one, change interval. And give here a code. This is called number range code. Okay. This code could be numeric, alphanumeric, and alphabetic. But I'll suggest always give numeric code only. There is a logic. There is a logic behind that. Okay. Now, so here I have given a code. It is called 2-digit code. And then, as I said, yearly, the number range is going to be specified here. Every year it is going to be maintained. Okay. So this time, the number range which we are going to specify for which year? For this financial year. Right. Now, and give a range here. So I'm going to give 1000 to 1999. Press enter. Here. What is happening, guys? Why it is taking time? Okay. Yes. There are certain fields here. NR status. Then we are having EXT. Right. These all fields are having certain logic, guys. Okay. That also we'll see. Okay. So first of all, here we have given a number range code, then year, then from number and to number. So in that I have given 1000 and 1999. So I said like the length of this one is 10 digit. In real time, 10 digit range is going to be given for you people. Initially, everybody give a small number range itself. Why? Because in upcoming session, I have to explain certain things. Easily you will be able to remember the document numbers also. Okay, when I posted a previous transactions, this document number got generated. If it is 10 digit length, it is impossible to remember. Right? Okay. You just save it, Control S, and press enter. Now here, this SAP server become slow or what? Maybe my net is slow. So here what we have done, guys, why this message appearing? Okay. So a range we have given. So when you post a transaction, what is happening? At the time of transaction posting, system is going to generate a document number that is coming from this range. Okay. Now, what is the use of this number range status, NR status? That we have to see. Right? What is the use of NR status? Now, see, I'll tell you. Generally, when a transaction is going to be posted, right? Now transaction is nothing but document. So document means When you post a document, system is going to generate a document number. So when you are going to post a document, first document number is, let's suppose 1000, then 1001, then 1002, right? Like that, it is going to be sequence wise, it is going to be generated, right? Now next transaction will be here. When you post a next transactions, the system is going to generate 1005. Now the question is, at the time of, like, let's suppose this time, why 1005 itself? Why not 1006? Right? So again, there'll be answer. There'll be answer, like, let's suppose, and this one also I've seen, like, very simple. Like as I said, like at the time of transaction posting. Okay, there was a question earlier where the question was that, let's suppose when we are going to post a transaction, the system has generated, let's suppose, a document number 1005. Okay, while posting a document, system has generated a document number 1005. So interviewer is saying that my question is, why 1005 itself? Why not 1006? Why not 1007? Why not 1004? Right? Okay. So people will say that, like, let's suppose most of the people will not be able to respond this, even though it is a very simple question. But some people are saying, they will say that it is 1005 because before that already previous documents were posted. 1001, 2, 3, 4 till 4, it is already posted. Now next document is 1005. But actually guys, interviewers are very clever. They will never leave you off there itself. They will say, you tell me how SAP will come to know that till 1004 transactions are already posted. That is the question. Right? So now, look at here. This is called from number. This is to number. And then we are having NR status. Okay, I'm typing in shortcut, don't look at this menu. This is called NR status. Okay, so now there is a use of NR status, guys. NR status means number range status. So what is happening when you post it, when you are going to post a transaction? Okay, very first time here NR status is blank. Right now it is blank. It means 0. Okay, so SAP will check. At the time of transaction posting, SAP is going to check. Okay, so SAP found the number range. Again, how SAP is going to trigger this number range, guys? There is also logic behind that. That also I'll explain. Okay, but for that we are having another topic called document type. When I explain this document type, then I'm going to explain this. Okay, so now here, right now we are having this number range 1000 to 1999. Let's suppose this number range is going to be triggered by system. How? That also I'll let you know, but don't worry. First of all, I have to see this one. So it is SAP found that number range we have given 1000 to 1999. So from this range only, a transaction, I mean to say document number, is going to be generated. So system is going to check what is the NR status, number range status. It says 0. 0 means, it means till now no transaction has been posted. So SAP is going to generate the smallest number from this range. And what is the smallest number, guys? It is 1000. So document number 1000 got posted. So transaction number 1000. I mean to say document number 1000. So the moment this transaction got posted, then what will happen, guys? If you have, let's suppose, different, like let's suppose if you're going to maintain the diaries, right? So what is happening? It means whatever our day-to-day transactions are taking place, those things we are going to specify, right? You have purchased a particular item worth of something. Let's suppose you are going to specify in your diary, or like you have given 500 or 1000 or 10,000 to somebody, you are going to specify, right? You have noted it down somewhere so that you'll be able to remember. The moment we have posted the transactions, a document number 1000 got generated. SAP is also going to note it down where automatically it is going to be updated here, so that SAP will be able to remember that what is the previous transaction which was posted. So the now transaction number 1000, document number 1000 posted, automatically number in status is going to be updated with this number, right? So what will happen, guys? When next transaction is going to be posted, in that case, what will happen, guys? Next transaction is going to be posted. In that case, here SAP is going to check. Okay, so this range 1000 to 1999. So from this range only document number is going to be generated. But next time SAP is going to check this NR status. Now what is the status here? 1000. It means out of this is already posted. So what is the next document number, guys? This NR status plus 1. NR status plus 1. So here 1001 is going to be posted. And the moment 1001 got posted, immediately NR status is going to be updated with the new document number. Right? Look at here, a very simple question. But when you are going to explain the answer, you have to explain the logic. Right? And that also I'll show you practically when we post the transaction. You guys can see here, isn't it? So the configuration of this document number, like entire basic settings, I can complete in 20 minutes or 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes itself, right? But if I have to explain all the things, it is going to take 10 classes. Right? I got a call from a guy yesterday, and that, like, he said, like, so my class is already completed. I said, like, okay, it's like, what was the duration? He said 14 class there. Oh my god, what is this here? In 14 class, they completed this entire SAP, in the sense, like, entire FICO module. So what is happening? Of course, like, as I said, like, if configurations only we have to explain, this entire basic setting in 30 minutes it is going to be. 20 minutes are more than enough. One line explanation. Guys, what is the use of number range? Number range is going to control, like, it is going, whatever the transactions are getting posted, guys, those transactions will be having, like, it is going to be generated while posting a transaction, and the document number is going to be generated, or transaction number is going to be generated. Those numbers are coming from where? Those numbers are coming from here. Okay, now you just go to FBN1 transaction code, create this number and save it. 2 minutes. That's finished. Right? What is the use of document type? 2 minutes. That's going to be finished. Entire in 30 minutes, this entire things are going to be finished. But ultimately your understanding is zero. When people are going to ask such kind of questions, right? How many people are going to respond? 2% of the people. Those people are going to become a consultant, right? That is why I say to everybody that if you have to become a consultant, you must be having time and patience both, right? Okay. So what I said, what is the use of NR status, number in status? So whenever the transactions are getting posted, guys, whatever the transaction got posted, that is getting updated here. Next time, 1002, 1003, and then 1004. So when the question was, like, when I have posted a transaction, system has generated a document number 1005. So why it was 1005? Why not 1004? Why not 1003? Right? So sometimes people say that because those transactions are already posted. So here again, people will say that, okay, those transactions are already posted. How SAP will come to know that 1004 is already posted? So that they have to generate a document number 1004. So guys, I'll tell you, they're like 98% of the people, they will not say anything, right? But what you have to say that in number ranges, we are having another field called number range status. So when the transaction is getting posted, when the documents are getting posted, a document number will be generated by system. These document numbers, whatever the document number got generated, that will be updated here under number range status. Okay, so when you say like system has generated a document number 1005, why? Because under system, before generating this 1005, SAP is going to check the number range status, and in number range status, since 1004 was already updated, so that is why 1004 plus 1, the next document number will be 1005. This is how people will come to know that yes, you are able to, in the sense logically you have explained the things. Behind each and everything there is a logic, right? Without logic nothing is. If let's suppose there is a field, particular field is given by SAP, or it is there, then there is a use of that field, guys, right? What is the use of that field that we need to? Okay, so that is what you have to explain. So what is the use of number and status? Number and status means when the transactions are getting posted, when the documents are getting posted, a document number will be generated. So whatever the recent document number which got generated is will be updated here under number and status, so that when the next transactions are going to be posted, SAP will check this number in status, and SAP will add +1 in number in status, like whatever the number is there, and then the next transaction is going to be posted. So 1005 generated, immediately 1005 is going to be updated here automatically by system. Okay, this is what the logic. And the last one I'll just play in here, and then we'll wrap up the session. Here we are having this checkbox. Okay, this is called, look at here, external assignment. External assignment means right now, if you don't apply a check mark, rare uses, guys, rare in the sense like almost it is not going to be used, but SAP has given this option. Okay, SAP has given this options. So what is the use of this, guys? Same, let's suppose number range we have given, right? Now what is happening? Automatically SAP is going to generate the document number here one by one, sequence wise. So how the sequence are being maintained? Because every transactions are getting updated here under number and status field, right? And system will generate, SAP is going to add +1, number is NR status +1, NR status +1. So the transactions are getting posted smoothly sequence wise. Now we have a checkbox called external assignment. Okay, external assignment. So if you apply a check mark here, so what will happen, guys? Now this document number will not be generated automatically by system. Okay, this document number is not going to be generated automatically by system. At the time of transaction posting, manually you have to enter the document number. Okay, manually you are going to enter the document number. So at the time of transaction posting, what is happening here? The document number is going to be entered manually. Okay, now of course there might be a requirement, in the sense somewhere such kind of requirement will be there. That is why SAP has given this option also, right? Now, so here if you apply a check mark here, and I'll tell you guys, don't apply a check mark here, simply try to understand the logic. Don't apply a check mark, don't save it. So if you apply a check mark here, then what is happening? It means now this automatically what is happening, guys? Number will not be generated. If you don't apply, it means internal assignment. SAP is going to generate the document number automatically based on this logic and our status. Now if you apply a check mark and then you post a transaction, in that case document number you have to give manually. What is the disadvantage of this one, guys? It will be difficult to remember the sequence. User must have to remember the sequence. Last time I have given a document number 1001, so this time 1002. right? Next time what is happening? So here, so they have given, let's suppose we are having this external assignment. Okay, external assignment is there. Now we have applied a check mark. So last time 1001 we have posted, right? In NR status, 1000 got updated. Then 1001 got updated, right? Then what is happening? Okay. Now the next, what is happening, guys? Next one is like, so this time what is happening? Somebody has given document number 1004. So this 2 is unused, 3 is also unused, 1001, and then directly we have given 1004. So here 1004 is going to be updated. So what is happening, guys? External means manually you have to give the document number. So it is, now what is happening, guys? In that case, what is happening? It is difficult to maintain this sequence, right? Now let's suppose you realized that I have previous transaction was 1004, because if you check the GL balance, you will see like 1001, 1000, 1001, 1002, 3 is not there, 4 is there, let's suppose. It means we have missed out this two. And if you have to use, then what will happen, guys? Then what is going to happen? How you are going to, because now here NR status is 1004, right? So here if you enter 1002 and 3, SAP will say no. NR status is already 1004, so how can you give 3, 2 and 3? It is not possible. You proceed further, in the sense 1004 plus 1, 5 will be accepted, 6 will be accepted, but smaller number is not going to be accepted, right? So in that case, now we are having another option called, I'll tell you. See, multiple people, they don't know what is the logic behind this change NR status. In this case, you can click here, change NR status, and let's suppose 1004 was updated. Now what is happening? We are going to make it 1001 once again, and then you save it. And then what will happen, guys? Then since 1001, we reset the NR status, we made it 1001. Now what will happen? Then 1002 and 3 will be allowed. And then once again, once the 3 got updated and 4 is already posted, right? So then what is happening? Once again, you have to change the NR status and you make it 4, and then 5 onwards we are going to do. So in that case, you have to reset the NR status, number and status. Then you can proceed further, right? When we are going to reset this NR status, number and status, why do we need to reset this number and status? What is the use of resetting this number and status? No one knows. Or even if the people, let's suppose if they're having, if they know also, when it is going to be used, they don't know. None of the candidate. So in this case, what is happening, guys? When manually it is going to be, when the number ranges are going to be updated, like number range, your document number manually is going to be entered, right? In this case, let's suppose user has forgotten to use this too, right? And the next document we have used for 1004, so it got updated. Now 1004 got updated, so always higher number is going to be given, guys, 1567, because this 2, 3 is not accepted by system, because here 4 is already updated. So in that case, you can reset the number in status. So if you click on reset, then you can reduce the value. You can make it 1001 here once again. And once you made 1001, then 2 and 3 will be used, right? And then finally 4 is already used. So finally, once again, you can reset the value and you have made it, you have to make it 1004, and then this onwards we can post. So that is the challenges here if you apply a checkboxes, because multiple users are posting the transaction, guys. So it is not possible to remember the sequences here, because there are 10 users, 20 users, 30 users, right? So that is why what happened, don't apply a check mark here, okay? And I'm not going to save this number in status because we have not posted the transactions yet. So I want to exit. So here we are going to maintain this number range is, and look at here, in this case, number range status, it is not possible to edit. Look at here, this is not editable field. Here you can enter something, here you can enter something, but you can't enter anything here. This is not editable. So if you have to, in case if you have to edit, you have to go for reset this, change the NR status. No need to change, guys. It is not going to be changed because we are not going to use external number range. Everywhere internal is going to be used. We also are going to use, because again, remembering the sequence is not possible. Display means simply like what are the number range we have created, it is showing in display mode. This is what the use. Okay. Now again, the question is, we can define multiple number ranges. 1000 to 1999, 2000 to 2999, 3000 to 3999. Why do we need to define multiple number ranges? And if we have defined multiple number ranges, then when system is going to trigger this 1000 to 1999 range, when system is going to trigger the 2000 to 2999, like let's suppose we are going to here click on, now we are going insert line. Insert line means I have to define another 0 to for this year and 2000 to 2999. Just save it. Okay, now I'll just stop. Okay, so I have defined another number range. Now we have two different number range. How SAP is going to trigger, when SAP is going to trigger this one, when SAP is going to trigger this one, and how SAP is going to trigger this number range, how SAP is going to trigger this number range. If one was there, it was simple. Now we are having two. Likewise, if you're having three number range, four number range. So why do we have multiple number range, and how system is going to trigger this number range? These all I'll let you know, guys. But this logic is hidden where? Under document type. Okay, so that I'll explain in next session. So that's all in this session, guys.